Hey guys, Glenn, welcome to Viper and TaToH called the Tyrant Plebs against the Revengers here in this best of 7 again. We are casting records this time because we had cast Master Arena at the same time. And I hope you will enjoy this series. Obviously, it's the first big test of how well Viper and TaToH will perform this tournament. They are seed number 4, therefore they're playing against seed number 13 here in the very first round. And I'd say we will just jump into game number 1. It will be map pack with Team Random Civilization. Do the Revengers have a chance? Well, we will see how well Viper and TaToH will play this out, and we are here to figure out how well Viper and TaToH, performing so far, to maybe have an idea how they will perform in the whole tournament. And we are looking into Team Islands here, Ethiopians and Indians war. We have the Viper playing in yellow, we have TaToH playing in the red, and they are facing the blue. I'm coming, and the gray Ethiopian player. So we will see a lot of ship and a lot of siege here. Viper queuing up mass galleon, mass fire ship here. TaToH with a lot more docks already set up and going for a lot of houses here as well. And this seems like fire ship against fire ship here for the Ethiopians. A bit of a better start here for Solomon. At the same time, I'm coming only going for galleons. First demo, and yeah, Ethiopians not that great on water. No heavy demo, no fast fire ship. So they kind of are based around mass galleons for sure. Would love to see some SO being added as well. Just helping out in some fire, on some fights there as well. TaToH obviously loves his demos, trying to go in for some more, and well, let's take a look if he gets some damage done. Yes, he does. Military count for him at the moment 8 to 7. On the other side, numbers are a bit higher because they don't really have the damage output. Is the standard meter to delete the scout on islands? Yes. They don't really need him at the start and can just produce one more villager before getting house. But Solomon isn't doing that as it seems. But yeah, well, that's just the beauty for the Viper training with me. I told him that. But maybe he would have thought about it as well. Military count now pretty low for I'm coming TaToH in a quite commanding position here. And Solomon falling behind quite heavily as well. Oh, some demos getting some reasonable hits in. A lot of Solomon's army not really fighting at the moment. Military count for him 18. The Viper with 36, so is TaToH. And now they can transition and maybe do some more stuff on land here. Maybe switching to some cannon galleons here. I believe Indians have cannon galleons. Not so sure about Ethiopians. Let's take a quick look, shall we? And yes, they have normal cannon galleons. And Indians should add some now as well. Focusing down on the castles, on the docks first. Hitting some demo shots, but not too important. Trying to go for some eco now as well. Maybe set up a market or two. And then we will see. Who's oncoming? Do we know him another name? No, that's his main nick. He's only playing with this one. The Viper actually even having a hit squad over here. Just trying to intercept some potential landing attempts. And well, TaToH having a massive amount of food here. And he has cannon guns as well, right? Even elite cannon guns, so we'd really love to see him add those. For now he's just going for mass galleons. Now he's adding some cannon galleons. Okay. Viper mainly going for the kill of the dogs as well, but I heard some cannon guns from him as well. And they will deal with all the castles and the 2 tyrants in a dominating position here, for sure. Controlling all the waters, some army of blue coming around, but well, running into mass army of Viper, who's now trying to reposition himself, but the numbers are just so overwhelming. Look at that, the combined 50 to combined 170. There's just no chance to win the water back this way here for the international competition here for the Revengers. That's a big group of cannon guns even. Let's take a look what they are trying to focus down. Seems like another cast, and well, we might need to see them starting to land in some way. Now TaToH just focusing on the cannon galleons here. And putting some galleons here at the side as well. Really not wanting to get landed. The Viper maybe preparing a landing now pretty soon as well. But he is just super happy with how many castles he's sniping down. Look at that, pop 53 and 60 to 2 players that basically need to decide, do I really want to build more water, or am I getting to too much water pop? Then maybe go for some land as well. Elite cannon galleons still for TaToH, and they are just doing so much damage, and even 5 out. I'm not even grouping that one, so he has like 9 cannon galleons, I'd say. Oh yeah. Knocked out. Viper starting the trade now as well. Something the Revengers couldn't do yet. And they're just continuing to control the front. Quite interesting to me. Oh, now we have the landing of enough soldiers here. Did prepare some, now going over with more villagers, and they are snacking down some villagers, and this looks like a very dominant performance here by our star player, the Viper. Probably the best RM in the world, maybe the best DM in the world, question mark? We don't really know, but we are here in this tournament to figure that out. I personally would see him at the top 4, and someone is saying, well played, GG, the Viper and TaToH are taking this game number 1 quite convincingly here on Team Island with Ethiopians and Indians. But that being said, I'm coming is a pure DMer and has no idea about water maps, so I think we will see way closer games than this on land-based maps. Can't know if he's the best DMer until he plays best of 21 against Kellan. Well, then let's say best DMer, team game DMer, question mark. Maybe that's something, right? Let's take a look at the achievements. Well, the game was over at like minute 6 or something, so they don't really count anymore. Solomon and Viper fighting a bit more. TaToH just running, I'm coming over there. And TaToH got the market quite nicely as well. Therefore he got that much gold. I'm coming in Solomon, not even getting to the highest amount of villagers as well. Seems like Amsterdam server is the one I really need to go for in the future. (1-0) was the first one. Map pack. Now we're going Green Arabia, Hunt and Goss, and Viper's really good with those hunts as well. Played them quite a bit when we had wars come in time, and let's see how they will play this out. Could be a more closer match though, because TaToH could be the one struggling here. Let's see how well they will double, how well they will play this out here in game number 2. Viper and TaToH leading 1-0. Best of 7, whoever gets 4 wins first wins. And Viper actually playing the Goth, that's super interesting. And TaToH is playing the Hunt, going for a 5 stable opening. Viper is playing 4 barracks, then houses. On the other side we have 4 stables, 6 barracks, and 7 archer ranges for Solomon. 5 barracks opening for I'm coming. Who is building too many halberdiers at the start? You don't want to build only halberdiers out of 1 barracks early on. Well, he's going for only halberdiers against Viper, who's got. This could be a very quick win here for the Viper. He could just run him over. Okay, now going for champions, but he's not getting any raids in. I'm coming, just screwing this up quite heavily. TaToH at the same time, not the greatest distribution of his villagers, might even lose some. Look at that. Paladins are snacking some, and TaToH just waited a bit too long there. And now siege work. Oh, castles actually from the Viper. That's interesting. Normally you want to see siege workshops at that point. And Viper didn't really get any good raids in either. So, quite a scrappy game. And TaToH, heavy losses for him. Pop 26. Compare that to the pop 38 here of I'm coming. But Solomon in some trouble as well against the Viper. Oh, actually, no. They have the same population. Only Solomon has 20 more here. And he's now even getting the market maybe. TaToH losing quite a bit of his balance. Pop 30 for now. And villager count is a solid 1. So big screw up by him. And that's what we said before. Twice the Viper is probably winning this tournament. The question is how well will TaToH adjust and how well will he get into this. Now he's going into the raid. That's quite an interesting decision because he could just easily die now to a frontal attack against Solomon. Not 100% sure why he is trying to double here. I believe the Viper should play his only one. Amazing Knight trying to go for the pyramid. Will get denied by me as well. But luckily another one was taking care of that as well. TaToH, horrible gold spot here at the front. Not setting up his trade yet. Trying to get to some defensive gold. And Solomon, pop 120, pop 60 for TaToH. I believe he will have some troubles. Not having barracks running either means he won't be the most cost efficient guy. Now receiving some gold from the Viper, who is trading off champion against champion here, trying to go for some more onagers. 65 military, Solomon at 120, but he isn't having the greatest amount of villagers either, so is I'm coming. He is trying to desperately get some castles up. Viper in quite a dominant position here. Solomon, is he sending more over? Well, his production is certainly running better than the one of TaToH, but he now got a defensive TC up. I'm coming, look at that, has massive amount of resources. I'm surprised that he's not getting them on the map. Not queuing up out of all his barracks. Look at that, only 3 barracks working at the moment. Viper a bit better with his production. At the same time, TaToH could completely die if we see a single ram now. And yeah, Solomon just too late with his siege workshops here. But still, population 123 against 110. The Viper completely focused on killing his enemy, but now not having any scorpions. And therefore, Homecoming is somewhat holding. Champions running through the middle. Some Harvard is coming over. Viper sending some villagers over. Maybe can help out. And TaToH needs to retreat even further. Pop 50 for him. No real defense at the moment. Not getting his main gold spot. That castle is getting denied. And the villager standing over by the Viper is getting caught off guard as well. They're slowly getting the trade running. Not a lot of villagers, only 14. I'm coming only at 13 as well. This is a super low eco game, so it all comes down to how cost efficient they are taking fights, not about how well they're setting up eco, because everyone is super slow when it comes to that regard. Finally traps out, so Rams were lacking quite a bit. TaToH in a world of trouble here. Not going for any barracks was a big mistake for sure. Scorpion thing back for I'm coming, just doing such a beautiful job as well. Seems like quite a fair trade-off. Castles now in the back. I don't really see the Viper pushing, and I don't really see TaToH holding. Now some Huskars, but they won't perform too well against Mash Paladin CA. Those were just even dying, so it will get stopped at 3 barracks. Well, 3 barracks are still something. Solomon retreating with his CA and now going for the frontal push. TaToH is just dying horribly here. It triggered 4.5k food to the Viper though now. Suddenly we can see the first real eco started here. And for the first time, maybe people are setting up trade. Solomon actually has 9 trade cards, kind of waiting for that to get rolling. And he is playing pretty nicely. Getting food eco running as well. And TaToH together with Viper are somewhat holding. But look at that overall population, 100 more for our Ravengers. The underdogs in the series, but kind of the favorites in this matchup. A very iconic TM 2v2 matchup. Was probably the most famous matchup in all of AOC, because they were the 2 fastest civilizations. So we added that to give the DMers some satisfaction when they're facing some RMers. Oh, but now running out of paladins as it seems. Uh-oh. Well, but still, that's way too much army, right? It's only 3 barracks. What? 3 barracks are actually quite okay-ish. Not a lot of center control here, though. Take a look. TaToH trying to clear that up will obviously do greatly against the champions, but poorly against the Huskulls. So the mix is what gives some troubles to TaToH cleaning that up, but now with some champions, they should deal with that pretty nicely. Viper now, close to pop limit. TaToH at 140. Did they maybe stabilize here? TaToH only had 15 trade cards, getting his gold running though. Maybe if he can hold with Halberdier and CA and do something, but they have very little control over this middle area. Now building some barracks here at the side. Market still not properly set up. And Solomon, now that's the first trade really coming in for them. That's just super late. And TaToH, he has army that is super bad against Huskulls. And Ravengers now in a beautiful spot here, controlling all the trades. No answer by TaToH or the Viper at the moment. And they're kind of searching for the trade, but it's not as existent as they would have loved to see if they wanted to go for all the kills. Now all 4 players at this spot. TaToH's actually taking quite a nice hill advantage here. Not 100% sure if someone really wants to take this engagement, and he thinks better of it as well, is going back a bit. At the same time, they were maybe just waiting for this castle to go up, but the Viper was already prepared. Has 4 traps out here, but they could maybe go down. Most likely their traps will go down, but so will the castle. And that was held by the Viper and TaToH. And maybe they're getting themselves into the position where they can make it an even game. And look at that! Suddenly Viper and TaToH both at pop 200, and Solomon and I'm coming pop 120, 150. They did throw the game here as it seems. Simply not getting the trade up early enough really hurt them. And TaToH just with a very strong army of mass CA here. How did he get to that amount? Pretty sweet stuff how the Viper saved over the right hand side with all the Huskulls. TaToH stayed super calm and defended this so nicely. Solomon, his eco, 100 villagers, but only 19 trade cards. That's just way too little. Let's take a look. TaToH's KD was so much better, although he lost so much. Now intercepting some of the CAs. Oh, I'm not sure who is taking the worst engagement here. I think it's bad for both. Which obviously isn't the thing. But yeah, TaToH needs to retreat even further. Yeah, just a minute ago, Torrent seemed pretty dead, and the push seemed so good for Solomon here. TaToH lost most of. Look at that. That was his main TC. He lost that at like minute 12 or 13. But, well, speaking of our star player in the red, we are casting your games, guys. TaToH and Viper against Solomon. I'm coming from earlier today. We are here in game number 2. It's a Hunt and Goth War on Green Arabia in the Legacy Cup number 2. The deathmatch deathmatch tournament that is rolling at the moment. We had a wonderful time over at TaToH. And yeah, Salomon has quite a nice army, and now the center control here. TaToH is lacking some paladins, but simply having that many CA really helps him, but not having the hill advantage at the moment. This looks like somewhat of an even fight, just lacking some rams here, and now trying to go for the sneak around with the CA, and they could get some trade, but things should get cleared up quite easily though. Not really in the heart of the trade either. Needs to position himself more over here. Same time, Viper is somewhat active in the trade here, but obviously Huskarl's not the greatest unit ever to kill trade. And the Tyrants aren't really seeing it. Well, now sending 2 CA. And sending some more Paladins. They aren't even Xing. I'm just clearing this up this way. And now, not enough Paladins here for Solomon, therefore TaToH is becoming pretty efficient with his CA. Let's take a look at the Ram. Isn't getting the last hit off against those 2 traps. Still controlling that area. TaToH is in the trade though, and there's nothing at the moment for the Revengers to defend that. Ringing the bell isn't really the best option. TaToH even sending more Paladins over. Could this maybe be the kill here? It kind of looks like it. No real answer, no army that is going back. Where is some CAs? Some more Paladins going to the front. And trade amount is only at 40 compared to roughly 40 as well. But it's Paladins sending in 1 by 1. That's not really an option. CA now trying to take an uphill fight. TaToH just repositioning himself, and those trade cards are just going down. Somewhat unanswered. TaToH going with probably the game-ending rate here. Going below 30 trade cards is now the team of the Revengers here. And all those CAs even dying against all the Paladins. TaToH with a beautiful, beautiful move. At the same time, I don't see anything on the minimap that is changing that fact. And yeah, even the Viper is pushing more here. And TaToH completely died at the start, but it seems like the Revengers weren't able to close this out. And the Tyrants are taking this 2-0 because Revengers now dropping below 210 pop. Some siege towers to defend, not really the best unit ever, and at the 30-minute mark we see the 2-0 lead here for Viper and TaToH. Quite a convincing game by the Viper. Weird start by Incoming, going for Halberdiers against the Goth. That's not really a thing. Solomon with a beautiful start. TaToH with the screw up at the start, but then held. The Viper helped as well. Very late markets by I'm Coming there for Solomon. Straight could never really run. Then he went out of steam, and the game could be switched around. Beautiful team play by the Tyrants as well. And yeah, kind of smashed all the army over here. Beautiful timing. The traps were instantly there to kill the castles and all the 4 players, but Viper and TaToH just had the hill advantage and switched this game around. Sweet stuff. Viper, obviously the most active guy by killing and yeah, also losing though. And TaToH lost quite a lot of buildings and also killed quite a lot of buildings. Interesting stuff. Did tower defense not the best? Well, we can agree on that, right? Let me take a look at the gold income at the end. 20, TaToH 12, Solomon 19. Okay, so that wasn't bad. But maybe with Hans, he would have loved to have even more. There. Which brings us to game number 3. That is Baltic. And we will play this with the Captain's Mode settings. And let's take a look. We have Jordan Fan. So left hand side is the Viper during the draft. Right hand side is the Revengers. The first ban will be global. Ah. Hans band for Baltic and Spanish band. Those are global bands, so no one can pick those. Now we have one ban only for the enemy team. Goth and Saracens now banned for their opponents, so now the Tyrants could go for Goths, the Ravengers could go for Saracens, and indeed going for the Goths. Obviously pretty strong at the land and solid on water as well, so I don't mind that at all. And Burmese, interesting. So really wants to go for some elephants as it seems. Now we have two more bands for every side, which is hidden. Yeah, tomorrow there's German Day. Oh, Saracens double band? Okay, well, you really wanted to make sure that they don't get Saracens as it seems. Okay. Well, and they're picking Saracens anyways now. Okay, Italians now. Oh, Italians, they are good against Burmese and Khmer. If they get onto January's crossbowmen, Goths are good with the halberdiers. Burmese and Khmer, they really need to get onto siege to add to their elephants there. So we have Italians and Goths for the Tyrants and Burmese and Khmer. So very land-based army here for the Ravengers. So game number 3 will be loaded up by me, and we'll see how they will play this out. I'm pretty excited. Could go really fast here. We'll see. Condos incoming all the way? Unlikely. Goth condos. That could be interesting. I didn't think about that. That could be tricky. Okay, TaToH starting in blue, going for the barracks start. The Viper obviously barracks as well. And we have stables, no one really going for water. Well, Solomon is sending one villager over, and well, that's a quadruple villager going for the stable. And well, we'll see how well the condos will perform. I don't think that condos are super good against like elephant or rambai though. And yeah, he's going for housecarls first. And for some pikemen now as a defense, and now trying to get defensive castles up. And if he gets onto like 40 Genoese crossbowmen, he is just super fine if he's not eating any Onager shots. I don't stop streaming TLC. Well, I will stop in roughly 2 hours. There's only this series and another series. Sorry so much, Juvenile. Only TaToH going straight for water. Well, he built one single dock, so that's not going straight for water. And we have one single dock for Solomon as well. So seems like they're focusing quite a bit on land first, and Solomon is having quite a defensive build-up. Not a lot of kills here on that side. The other side played this way more aggressively here. Kondo is running around. TaToH Kondo! Trying to go for some kills. But as I said, I don't think that condos will perform too well against the elephant. It's really coming down to the Genoese crossbowman and going up to 4 castles. So he really wants to get the production rolling. Same time, Viper. That's quite a bit of halberdiers. Where are the Burmese? A ram by? Oh, some demos would be so sexy here as well. Let's see if they will actually go for any water for now. Only TaToH going for quite a bit of water. Trying to kill some scorpions. Uh-oh, Japanese crossman. Well, scorpions now obviously super good. Why I'm coming here in this situation. TaToH could he maybe die? This doesn't look like the best engagement. Pop 64 against 50. The Viper having quite a high pop. It was 100. Let's take a look how well the Rambai will do. And I heard a market of the Viper. Maybe some cannon galleon action. All galleons for now. Okay. Uh-oh, TaToH in a world of trouble here. Going for some pikemen, going for some Genoese crossbowman. But no real answer to those rams so far. And now maybe overextending a bit. Oh, TaToH, that's a mute blow up, losing all his Genoese crossbowman. TaToH, the complete screw up here. That's putting him down to pop 40 against pop 90 here. The Viper needs to win his side if they want to have a chance, because TaToH will certainly die here. We're only missing some more siege, but that's coming over now. TaToH maybe can get the biggest demo ship hits in here ever, but that's looking very unlikely. The push just continues. And TaToH seems to be dead on land. At the same time, seems like Solomon in a solid position against the Viper. Not really winning, but not really losing either. And, well, what is he trying to do now? Huh? Not really. Even killing some ship. Sea trams are coming over, but actually the elephants are doing quite enough as well. Bombard cannons, TaToH at pop 33, Viper at 210. The Viper now finally building some barracks over here to build some halberdiers. Something he should have done way earlier. I see TaToH struggling really against good DMers. Well, probably. And just think about like how deadly people like Kellan or Leash or Praxes can be in the early game and how much they can really kill. Okay, seems like Amsterdam isn't the greatest server either. We have tried Berlin, Frankfurt and Amsterdam today. Maybe tomorrow I will try something like London. Actually, like tomorrow is Monday, so it isn't that bad. Welcome back, guys. And yeah, we're still looking at a tough position here for Mr. TaToH. And yeah, maybe America. I'm not sure if that really works. But we will see how this continues. Genoese crossbowman still behind castles. He has a lot of castles here. Maybe focus down with the bombard cannons against the rams. And then can maybe hold. And then they can go into this game. But lost both his stone spots. The gold spot will be pretty ugly for him. Well, we will see. Thank you so much for spamming 14. Really gives me motivation to get this game running again. Uh-oh, and those elephants just melted against the army that the Tyrants are now setting up. The castle probably even saved here. Oh yeah. Now it's looking way tougher here. Oh, more elephants coming over though. Interesting stuff. Viper with more water control. Solomon not really using his water at all. Just think about it, if they had some galleons over here, could have intercepted all this army of the Viper. Maybe even some demos. Oh god, this could have been so good. Ah. I'm coming, retreating. What are they retreating for? Maybe more scorpions, trying to get to support there. That's a big engagement coming, but that's also a lot of galleons helping out. Massive Rambites behind that. I believe Viper will just vanish in that small stroke area. Yeah, he will get some kills against the Onagers. That's pretty good for him. But that was heavy losses here for the population, and both Tyrants at pop 130. Actually, everyone in the 130s here, so super even game. The Viper, though, if he loses those Scorpions, well, will be quite exposed. But against the Rambi, not 100% sure if he will be too scared of that scenario. Now sandwiching all those galleons with his fast fires. At the same time, they're throwing quite a bit of elephants here. And TaToH now has the Genoese crossbow mass he wanted to go for early on. And now the elephants aren't doing anything without any support of some siege. And that's what we said before. Scorpions need to be added. Tyrant comeback is absolutely possible here. For now, they're leading in score, they're leading in population, they're leading in map control as well. And could even, like, that would be funny, like land, build some galleons over here. And these crossbowmen just melting those elephants, as you can see. But very vulnerable to potential onager shots, bombard cannon shots, maybe even scorpions. But they have some galleons around. Protect them. No water control at all for the two Revengers. Kind of puts them in a tough position to lose those fights over and over again. But these elephants, I'm not sure about like those at the moment. No, and TaToH. That's in such a good spot. Viper absolutely saving TaToH twice. That's probably true. Yeah, and in 2 weeks we will have potentially Rubenstock, that's me and Rubenstock, against TaToH and Viper. We both have one more round to go. Them against seed 5, us against seed 8. And if both advance, we're already getting into the very juicy phase of this tournament. But for now, we still could see them dropping down into the loser bracket. That could be pretty interesting as well. If they could crawl themselves back from there, obviously the motivation would drop quite a bit. But it feels like they're just too strong at the moment with all those Genoese crossmen. The Ballista defense just melting as well. Look at that. They aren't designed to take those fights. And now TaToH, he is just a master controlling those armies here. Mass bombard cannons, Viper sending so much. TaToH still some idle stuff here, but they're using that quite nicely. And I don't like elite battle Ballista elephants at all here as an option. And that's just the problem, that they went for two civs that are maybe too similar, Burmese and Khmer, and then too easy to counter. And now pushing into those last Ballista elephants here before the trade will die, and therefore the Viper and TaToH will take game number 3. At least that's what it's looking like. Trade is going down one by one. TaToH not even focusing down the markets, wants to kill the trade cards first. Yeah, just wants to take guaranteed losses that actually cost gold. Doesn't want to kill. Interesting move. I like that quite a bit. As you can see, he's manually focusing to not shoot the markets here. And GG, well played. And that was just, just think about it. If Solomon had some army here, denied the villagers from coming over, denied the halberdiers from coming over, then TaToH would have completely died. But with all those halberdiers, they were able to stop it. Maybe some traps could have done it, more rams could have done it. At the other side, Solomon against Viper was quite an even game, I would say. Maybe got very surprised here by Viper, and he just played this beautifully with the water control at that side as well. Are there advantages DMers have late game versus RMers? Well, not against the top RMers, obviously. Like, the top RMers are better than the top DMers. At least that's what I think. But it's super random. It's too tough to compare. Achievements. After this game number 3, which actually gives us the score of 3-0, we will have I'm coming with quite a lot of kills there against TaToH as it seems, and Viper. But in the end wasn't enough. Viper, solid army for him. No food for TaToH. Didn't need that because he just went for Genevieve crossbowman as well. Total castles, TaToH at 11. Sick shit. The Viper, look at how dominant he was at that phase. Just wrecking so much, and TaToH died horribly. Look how small he was, and the Viper came over, and then they crawled this back with potentially the better civilizations. Potentially. And if you liked scorpions and elephants, then you came to the right place, because game number 4 will feature exactly that. We will have a Persian and Khmer war on Golden Crater. Probably my favorite map. Should be pretty interesting, and I'm just jumping directly into it. Game number 4, guys. Again, with your beloved superstars Viper and TaToH against Ravengers. Here, seed number 4 against seed number 13. Let's have a look how they're playing this out. Barrack stable start here for the Viper. TaToH playing it with 4 stables. Persian against Khmer at the top, and Persian against Khmer at the south. And actually going for 3 castles quite early. Oh, the Viper could be in some troubles. I believe he needs to go for other units a bit quicker. I'm coming, needs to save his villagers though. Okay, he's safe now. At the same time, Viper saved all his stuff as well. So one Hussar does not know where to go to. And interesting. So the Viper. That's a ballsy start. 1 stable, 1 barracks. And then 4 castles. Solomon now going for the late raid. We don't see too often. And TaToH actually survives as well. On the other side we see 3 barracks, 4 siege workshops. And well, those castles won't really go up. TaToH should have some control over that actually. Oh, he's getting trapped. Okay. And the Viper will go for wild offense. I'm coming, is playing this super defensively. Aye. Very little kills so far. Only Solomon losing some halberdiers, I believe, here at the front. Now getting the castle top, and that's quite a nice flock of scorpions already out against TaToH. He will go for Billis elephants and mass scorpions himself. And he will get all the map control. And guys, obviously we are fighting for that beautiful area in the middle with all the gold as well here on Golden Crater. With that, I'm coming actually having some villagers here in the house. Using that feature or problem, not 100% sure. And the Viper now in some troubles here, and he will be lacking some scorpions if you ask me. Now trying to go for the big production, but I think I'm coming should have a good start here. At the moment he's at pop 80, the Viper at 50. TaToH is dominating the north as well. That's just the Khmer bonus for you. with 100 pop against Solomon's 60, but seems like Solomon is defending a bit better. Oh, but TaToH now, that's a big army as well. Let's take a look. The Viper being pushed back quite deep into his base and losing Scorpion after Scorpion, Elephant after Elephant. And if we only see some traps now coming out, Viper could be in some troubles. At the same time, I think now Halberdiers isn't really an option anymore. Elephant's trying to snipe down against TaToH. Maybe going for some monitors could be an option. Scorpions must not die, otherwise Solomon is in a world of trouble. Elephants are closing down the distance, and it seems like he is closing down well enough. So it seems like Solomon is dying a bit faster than the Viper. He's dropping down to pop 40, didn't get onto enough elephants as a buffer in front of his Scorpions, and TaToH already has traps out. Look at that, 3 traps out at the same time. No traps here for I'm coming, who's now trying to go and help at the top. That's not really a viable strategy, trying to go and help a guy by running over the whole map with one of the slowest units in the game. Solomon dropping down to pop 25, and TaToH for the first time having a solid start and rushing over the Persian guy in green here. It looks like a 4-0. The Viper at the same time now elite war defense and able to push himself. The clear up should probably happen. Not 100% sure about that though. TaToH still has a lot of Scorpions, and I'm coming didn't really focus perfectly, and those those Scorpions could all kill the elephants here, and it's GG guys. Good luck in the tournament. Indeed, that wasn't the clear up they needed, and we see Tyrant collapse, which consists out of Viper and TaToH advancing with a solid 4-0. So we have 3 out of the 4 teams here advancing with the 4-0s out of the top 4. Solid performance by the Tyrants, and for now we cannot say how well everyone is performing, because obviously it is the first round. It is a round of 16, and it seems like the favorites are advancing this far, at least the clear favorites. Viper and I'm coming didn't fight as much as TaToH, just vanished Solomon there, and I'm super happy that I don't have to play this war again, because it's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. TaToH even having the eco set up quite nicely. Let's take a look at that. Even getting some farms rolling, pretty sweet stuff by him. And now guys, it is